Now, the top leaders of Addis Ababa city administration say that they have taken a common position to fight extremism and illegal profits in the imminent political market, which poses a threat on the ongoing reform. This came in while senior city administration officials held a two-day forum with 1,000 subordinate officials drawn from the city administration. Briefing the media after their discussion, leaders of the city administration said various directions are set to fight corruption and extremism.
ሀገራችን የቆየችበት አጠቃላይ የነባራዊ ሁኔታ ይታወቃል።
The current situation of our country is known. Efforts have been made in Addis Ababa city administration to solve problems by considering the situation. It is a forum where we have had a common understanding to avoid conflict in the city. In addition, we have agreed that the leadership of Addis Ababa should be able to solve the problems that arise in the city.
አዲስ አበባ ከተማ ውስጥ ያለውን አጀንዳ አዲስ አበባ ከተማ ውስጥ ያለውን ችግር የሚፈታ አመራር ሆኖ እንዲቆም የጋራ ተግባቦት ፈጥረናል።
Now, the head of the Addis Ababa Prosperity Party office on his part stated that they have reached consensus to work for sustainable development. Have a listen to this. Well, the viewers, we apologize for the technical glitch that we've just encountered, and let's move on to our trending stories over the past 24 hours. And in this connection, I'm joined by my colleague Kidana Baina. She's going to help us share some of the things that she observed, especially when it comes to the celebration of Epiphany. Kidan, thank you so much for joining me.
You're welcome, Shvaro. Thank you.
Now, Ethiopians are already busy, preparing to vibrantly celebrate Ethiopian Epiphany. What have you observed in this regard?
Well, yes, like you said, many Ethiopians across the country are celebrating or preparing to celebrate Epiphany. And as you know, January is a very colorful month for Ethiopians. Just the previous week, or the week before the previous one actually, we celebrated Christmas. And now this week, Thursday actually, is going to be Epiphany. And owing to that, the tour operators, hotels around the country have expressed that they're ready to warmly welcome different tourists for this holiday. And now, following the peaceful resolution of conflicts in the country, tourists around the world, as you know, are expressing their interest to visit Ethiopia. And many people in Ethiopia, including diplomats, are actually urging different people from around the world to come and observe different tourist attraction sites in Ethiopia, because, you know, we're rich in that. And the Ethiopian Epiphany is actually inscribed as one of the intangible world heritage by UNESCO. And it is one of the many outdoor festivities that's celebrated by the country. And it's also a very sacred and holy celebration for Christians, specifically the Orthodox Christian in the country. And this year's annual festival will be celebrated in Ethiopia, as well as the Eve. The Eve of the holiday is also observed as part of the celebration. It's known as Katara in Amharic. So it includes different ceremonies that depict religious and cultural virtues. That's very unique to Ethiopia. So it serves as a tourist attraction, and visitors from different parts of the world are attracted towards Ethiopia for the celebration of Timkat, and it's celebrated colorfully across the country. But what makes this year's celebration different actually is it's the first following the peace agreement after 2 years of conflict. So this makes it very very comfortable, I think, and eases the minds of many to come and look at the celebration as a tourist attraction. And actually, Tourism State Minister Salamai Daud, I believe it was on January 5th, had said that the tourism sector had been suffering as a result of war, and before that there was COVID-19. They actually kind of overlapped, but now it's coming back to its former glory, and the celebration of Timkat this year very colorfully, especially in the city of Gondar, the historic city of Gondar, which is also known for its many tourist attraction sites. This puts the tourism sector back to its former glory, or it's part of it actually. So we can hope that this year's celebration will be showing us that and more.
Definitely. Thank you so much for that update.
You're very welcome.
Timkat is an Orthodox Christian occasion to mark the baptism of Jesus Christ in the River Jordan. People travel to Ethiopia to take part in Timkat, which involves processions, singing, and dancing. Spending time in Ethiopia is an excellent way for tourists to get an insight into the religion, culture, and traditions of the African nation. One of the most important festivals on the Ethiopian calendar, Timkat is celebrated across the country. Tourists in Ethiopia during Timkat are treated to 3 days of festivities.
I'm in Ethiopia and first day here, and so I never seen a big ceremony like this before.
That's I think it's a good sign to the world. I noticed, I read it in the newspaper. I think it's very important to support these kind of rituals, because we have to pass them on to the next generation.
Timkat falls on the 19th of January, 20th on leap years. Preparations called Katara begin the day, and the full event lasts for 3 days. Timkat commemorates Christ's baptism and takes place over 3 days. The most important day is the 19th of January, and this is when the blessing of water and the reaffirming of baptism vows to take place. There's also an interesting culture of throwing lemons, usually by youth. A person of the opposite sex throws lemon by way of expressing his slight love. If the person on whom the lemon is thrown says they're okay with it, then a romantic relationship develops.
Welcome back. You're still watching Addis News Hour. Now, ambassadors and heads of mission have visited Gorgora Development Project, which is part of the Dine for Nation project. Gorgora, which is located in the southern Gondar Amhara region of Ethiopia, is a touristic area. It is to be remembered that Gorgora from the Amhara region, Wonchi from the Oromia region, and Kosha from the southern regions are part of the Dine for Nation project. Now, the United States of America bestows the 2023 Lifetime Achievement Award to the Ethiopian origin Dr. Henok Tesfaye for his successful contributions to helping African American communities. For over 2 decades, Henok has been the president and the CEO of U Street Parking, a company he founded in 1998. It has become a premier parking company in a highly competitive parking market in Washington, D.C. Daniel Kazan has more on that.
Henok Tesfaye. The entrepreneur, Dr. Enoch Tesfaye, first exerted have won him recognition, and he has collected his 2023 Lifetime Achievement Awards with honor and recognition. So far, he was awarded multi-million-dollar contracts to manage parking facilities at 5 of the busiest airports on the East Coast, adding Orlando International Airport, as his track record is reliable. He's also involved in the real estate sector at United Investments with multi-million-dollar properties currently in development within the DC metropolitan area. Dr. Tesfaye has been featured in multiple publications. The Washington Post described him as a District of Columbia entrepreneurial success story, as focused business with good standing within the community.
Everything he touches almost turns to gold. He knows how to succeed in business. He knows how to work the network. He knows how to handle people and how to make them, how to appreciate the business that he's in, and how to reach out to people. But also, more than that, he gives back to the community. He gives back through nonprofit, through helping children, through helping people in Ethiopia and here as well in the United States.
He is a philanthropist. He's a man that cares about the people. He's a man who understands volunteerism, and he understands service. And the things that he's done with the many parking lots he has and in many airports throughout the nation and the world. Dr. Enoch Tesfaye, it would be that his heart is so big. He has integrity and character, and ever since I've known him, he's always carried himself in a very wonderful, amazing, magnificent way, and he's always been able to give back and to do for others as God. I do believe that God has blessed him so richly because he's so richly blessed others.
Dr. Tesfaye is a board member at Capital Bank and the Washington Architectural Foundation, as well as a member of numerous civic and professional associations, including the DC Chamber of Commerce, the Enterprise Development Group, and the National Parking Association.
The feeling I felt today is extraordinary, as the award is not a simple thing to win. I have got the 2023 award at this time when I am trying to work more. I have to do more, and this award is so helpful to motivate me for better achievements. This is also a pride and motivation for many Ethiopians to use their potentials for better contributions. I wish lots of Ethiopians to be successful like me. If you work hard, you will win God's favor. Thank you very much.
Dr. Tesfaye also plays an important role in giving back to the community. He is the chairman of the board of the Mary Joy Foundation USA, a non-profit organization that seeks to help children and seniors in his homeland, Ethiopia.
Welcome back. Now, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs urges Ethiopian diplomats around the globe to play their role in promoting the country's trade and investment potentials at the international arena. The Ethiopian Chamber of Commerce and sectoral associations has held discussions with Ethiopian diplomats. Johannes Vantaun has more on that.
Ethiopian diplomats in various countries has a significant role in the private sector in Ethiopia to take economic leadership and to attract and expand foreign direct investment. Ethiopia wants business diplomacy to be the major task of its diplomats. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs urged Ethiopian diplomats to play their fair share by promoting Ethiopia's good image to the rest of the world with their respective missions.
Our products need targeted promotion. Where do we promote coffee? Where do we introduce sesame? It remains to be seen where we will introduce other manufacturing products. Our ambassadors should do a strong and targeted promotion work for each of your country.
While the Council of the Ethiopian Chamber of Commerce and Sectoral Association held a discussion with the diplomats, with a view to expanding foreign trade options. The diplomats stated that they will work with the private sector associations to promote the country's investment and trade to ensure Ethiopia's benefits in terms of trade and investment.
የኮመርስ ኦፍ ቻምበር ትልቁ ሚና የኢትዮጵያ ምርቶች በውጭና በአገር ውስጥ የማስተዋወቅ
The biggest role of the Chamber of Commerce is to promote Ethiopian products at home and abroad. Missions and embassies have a mission to find buyers for Ethiopian products, so a favorable situation is being created for both of us to work together.
ለመስራት የሚያስችል ምቹ ሁኔታ የተፈጠረበት ነው ብዬ ነው የምወስደው።
ካናዳ ኢትዮጵያ ውስጥ የሚመረቱ ምርቶችን
Canada has a large market if it is possible to supply products produced in Ethiopia in the required quantity and quality. Since they have close relations with America and have the capacity to export, they can take over any product produced in Ethiopia.
Ethiopian Chamber of Commerce and Sectoral Association President Malaku Azezo said the aim of the forum is to encourage foreign and local investors to engage in manufacturing sector and exchange views with senior diplomats.
I would like to assure you that the Ethiopian Chamber of Commerce will work hard together with diplomats and other partner government bodies to realize our dream of seeing our country's prosperity, as the private sector is the main driver of economic growth, so that the industrial development started in the country continues.
The forum deliberates on Ethiopia's investment potential, economic diplomacy and social and economic development of the country and contribution of the diplomats.
And finally, the Chinese Minister of Foreign Affairs visited Benin on Saturday with the aim to strengthen economic and industrial ties between the two countries. Qin's Gang's visit follows recent celebrations of 50 years of cooperation between the two countries. Qin said his visit was to identify more fields of action. Quote, "I am thinking, for example, of infrastructure, agriculture, human resources, training, manufacturing, and peace and security," he added. In December 2022, China and Benin celebrated the 50th anniversary of their bilateral cooperation, with this visit signifying the implementation of a new strategy to increase China's presence in Benin. A memorandum of understanding on partial debt cancellation was also signed by both countries. And finally, a quick recap of the top stories. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs urges ambassadors to focus on economic diplomacy.